Vive le français! Bonjour les amis, j'espère que vous allez bien. I hope that you are all doing well. So today I want to tell you about work in France. So this video is available in French language as well. You can check. If you want to improve your French language, I suggest you go and watch the video in French language. I'm going to tell you about la durée hebdomadaire de travail. So how many hours French people work each week. So there has always been a fight, a arm wrestle, arm wrestle between, on one side, between, of course, the political party, so the right wing and the left wing, right wing, left wing, and between the workers and the management of the companies. And the idea was always there was always the fight, and the idea is less people should work less each week, less hours, okay? At the beginning, I think people would work like 48, 50 hours a week, 45 hours a week. Then in 1982, we had a socialist government, the left wing was in the power, and the number of hours went down from 40 hours to 39 hours. And then recently, in 1998, it went down to 35 hours per week, les 35 heures. It means people only, the legal working time is 35 hours each week. Legal working time is 35 hours each week. The idea was very simple. The government said, people are working 39 hours, now they will work 35 hours. So for one person, you win 4 hours. So one person, 4 hours, 2 employees, 8 hours, 4 employees, 16 hours, 8 employees, 30 something. So for each 8 or 9 employees, we'll create one job. That was the idea. Well, people will work less, but we are going to create jobs. In fact, what happens is people work less, but there was no job that was created. Also, what happened in many companies, people work less, but the workload is the same. So the employee has to work faster. He has to be more efficient. He has to produce faster. So they will tell you, you have 35 hours, but you need to do this much work. You need to work faster, Before he had the same amount of work, but he would take 39 hours, and now he has this same amount of work, and he should do it in 35 hours, That's what happened. In many companies, smaller companies, that's very simple. For me, I was supposed to work 35 hours, I had to stay at work 45 hours. So I'm supposed to work 35 hours, that's the legal working time, but in fact I had to stay in the office 45 hours. Sometimes I would stay 50 hours, because I know I have to finish my work. And if I don't finish my work, then my boss is not going to be happy. And he will say, oh, you didn't deal with this customer. Oh, you didn't do that. Oh, you didn't. So I'm doing extra. And of course, I'm not getting paid for the extra hours. If you work for big companies, if you do extra hours, so if you stay longer than 35 hours, you stay 36 hours, 37 hours, you're going to get paid more. Because I overstayed 2 hours, okay, I'm going to get paid for each hours 10 euro, 20 euro, you're going to get paid more for the extra hours, But even in these big companies, what happens is your boss will tell you, oh, go home, then you will go home. But then you didn't finish your work, so you're going home with your work, okay? That's my job, I have to take it home. I am going to work at home during the weekend or in the evening, and that's how it is. I only work 35 hours, but I'm taking my computer home, and I'm taking my mobile phone, and I'm taking my files, and I'm going to work extra hours at home. So this is what happened, in fact. So yeah, don't believe that French people are lazy. No, they are not lazy. They have to do the work. In fact, French people have to work very, very fast because they only have 35 hours, and then they, okay. And yeah, there are also some rules. So if if you work each day, I think for 6 hours. Every 6 hours, you need to have at least 20 minutes break. 20 minutes break. So this is what the law is telling you, but of course there's no possibility. There's no possibility. Let's say you work in the hospital and the law tells you 35 hours. Okay, Then there's someone who comes, it's the emergency, you're not going, hey, I'm off, I'm going back home. No, you will stay and you work more. You work more and you're not getting paid and you have to stay 2 more hours. So some jobs are more difficult than others, you know. If this is a civil servant, then that's okay. Civil servant is okay. The civil servant, he can stay there and, oh, it's time to go home, let me go home. And in fact, when you go to civil servant, to administration, in some place, people will work very slowly. It's like, yeah, and sometimes you have to wait 4 months for a file, you know. But if you are in the company, no, you cannot do this. Otherwise, your boss will put the pressure on you, and you could lose your job. You will have some issue. There's no hope. If you are working in a restaurant, you cannot be like, oh yeah. No, you need to be like very, very fast and prepare and cook. And maybe you will work 35 hours, okay, but then you have a break in the middle of the day. Okay. Also, there's some regulation. If you work at night, you work more. You know, everything that I explained to you, it means, in the end, what it means is that many people, they will say, hey, I would rather have a low job with a low salary, because at least if I have a very low job, it's not fun, it's a low job, but at least I only work 35 hours. If I work in the supermarket, beep, 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 then, oh, I'm off, 35 hours, bye, you know. It's an easy job. I get paid for the amount of hours, the amount of time I stay at work. I don't care. I'm not going to stay there longer, not 1 minute more. I'm going away, not 1 minute more. You know, some jobs are like this. But this job, of course, many people want to do this job. Many jobs are not like this. Many jobs, you have to stay longer, or you have to take your work home, or the job you can do 35 hours, but it will be very, very hard job, very tough job. So, yeah, of course, that's how it is. That's why many people want to work as civil servant, because civil servant is this way. It's this way. Bon, à bientôt les amis. Maybe not all civil servants, maybe not all civil servants. Some jobs as civil servants. À bientôt les amis. There are many different. Then there is the law and the reality. The law, what's written on the paper, what's written in the law, and what really happens. À bientôt. Au revoir.